if you're originating in 2025, then what you better do is raise your game. The days of people throwing deals at you are over.
If you don't have the ability to change in any business right now, you probably shouldn't be in the business you're in.
People have always had to adapt. How long have you been adapting, Jeff?
36 years, 37 years.
I'm on this podcast with man.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to Justin Eats His Lunch. Just kidding.
Hey, Bobby, I'm sorry. Are we doing this right now? I didn't realize. Sorry. This is called Laugh, Lend, and Eat. I thought lasagna was appropriate. But, I'm sorry.
You set me up.
Are we live right now? Oh, man.
Yes, sir. Justin Neal from Summit. How are you?
I'm doing good. I got you to laugh in the first 10 seconds, so that's
yeah.
4 years finished, so it's been a great podcast.
Listen, this is a great episode. Let's just wrap it up while we're in the peak. No need to, you got to know when to get off the stage, right?
Exactly. Leave them wanting more.
So, in case you guys don't know what's going on right now, this is a very confusing intro, but we have an unusual individual with us, Justin Neal from Summit Lending. Is it right, Summit Lending, or Summit Mortgage, or what
Summit
is it?
Mortgage, yeah, Summit Mortgage Corporation. Yeah.
I want to make sure I get that right because there's a lot of,
Oh yeah.
Little FYI, Summit is not a unique name for a mortgage company.
It's not, or even companies. And there's Summit Orthodontics, Summit Landscaping. It's a popular thing.
Yeah. Have you ever have you Googled how often the name is used?
I just drive around town and I see it everywhere, and I send pictures to our CEO. I'm like, hey, there's a Summit Orthodontics over on 4th Street, just so you know. Is that one of us? So can we go there for free care? No, we can't. All right.
Has he stopped answering your phone calls now?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to calm down here because this is Justin's show. I don't want to take it away from him, right? So Justin Neal is with Summit Mortgage Corp in Minnesota, is what I remember, right?
Yes.
Justin texted me and said on LinkedIn and said, "Hey, Fob, can I come on your show?" Something like that, right?
Yep.
And let me not sound arrogant. We get about 15 to 20 of these per month, and I've had a stalker once that would not take no for an answer. And I'll be more than willing to share that text with anybody who wants to see it. It's a very unusual text because it went on for like 4 weeks. He was, I don't know what the show meant something to him, I guess. Justin is a stand-up comic along with his mortgage industry. He's decided not to give up either one of his jobs just in case one actually works out. Not sure which one yet, right?
Yep.
And so when I saw the bio, I was like, okay, you got my interest, man. Like, what's going on here? Then I had a chance to speak with him. Great guy. There's some people you could just connect with instantly, and you guys picked up on the first couple of minutes here. Justin has me cracking up just because of what he's doing right now, which is just good stuff, right? So, look, Justin, first of all, welcome to the show. I don't think I welcomed you yet. Have I? Did I welcome you? Because I've been laughing too hard.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, you're a comic, a legitimate comic, by the way, not just someone who says I'm a funny guy and I'll tell you a dad joke, right? You do stand-up comedy. You go around doing stand-up comedy shows.
It took a while for me to give myself that label, that accomplishment, but I think I started getting paid. We're talking small gigs in Wisconsin bars, which I love, but that's when I started to kind of refer to myself in that way. But before that, I was just working on my craft up to that point.
Yeah, so it's such an unusual thing because a stand-up comic, all you have is your microphone and your brain.
Yeah.
So is that do you ever get freaked out about that? What was your first show like? Walk me through that moment, man.
My first decision to go and do stand-up comedy, I thought to myself, there's open mics. You can go up there for 3 minutes. I'm like, this is gonna really stink for the next 10 times I do this, but it'll get better. And my first time, my daughter was my ride or die. She was there in the audience. There was 2 other people in the audience, and I crashed and burned. But I liked it and came back for more. So it didn't take 10 times to get some confidence built up. It took maybe 4 or 5, but All my life, people said I'm a funny guy, and I'm, midlife crisis type of thing. Either I buy a Corvette or I try to do stand-up comedy. So I chose stand-up comedy.
There's a lot of funny guys, Justin. I mean, people say I'm a funny guy. I don't think I'm that funny, but people say I am. You know what I mean?
You should try
I couldn't do it.
You could do it. I think you can do it. You'd be
I
surprised.
am like, just FYI, if I don't have my bass guitar or guitar strapped around my shoulder, I can't go stand in front of a microphone. I don't even know how lead singers sing without any instruments.
Yeah. I mean, you being a musician, you're on stage already. You're already the center of attention. Comedy is a little different where you can't just give the same performance and have the same results, because I might be in a corporate gig with HR in the front row, or I might be in a Wisconsin bar where everyone has had a lot to drink. And so being adaptive is crucial to being successful and taking your lumps.
So here's a little material I'm working on. If you want. So I was getting my latest tattoo. So my tattoo artist, if I can make these two guys crack up, I know I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
And they were losing it, right? I don't know if you've noticed, okay? But McDonald's drive-thru have an option to get a Braille menu.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So it'll say Braille menu available, please ask.
Hmm.
So there's so many things with that statement that just caught my eye, right? Because obviously the first one is, if you're blind, should you be driving in a drive-thru?
Number one, great question. You're not wrong. Number two, how are you going to see those words unless you're
Right?
Yeah.
And then if you're a passenger, is a driver just such a jerk that they don't want to say, hey, you can order a Big Mac or a quarter pounder?
Yeah. They're like, hey, you're on your own. This is time for you to be a grown-up. And, you just hit on step one, which is seeing things around you that are funny and that you find entertaining, and you found it. And I probably drove past that sign 1,000 times, and I've never even thought about that, but you're not wrong. There's a lot of layers of funniness to that you can unpack into a comedy bit.
It's all yours, man. Take it, go to the guys, look for it. I'll give it to you as my present for coming on the show. How's that?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mortgage business, shifting gears. When did you get in the mortgage business?
2000.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
So you had about 7.5 good years.
I came right in, and they said it's going to be rough times, and then we had a little mini refi boom, and I'm like, this job is great. And never forget, my boss walked by my desk. It was like my third week, and I go, I got 22 files. And he stopped. He's like, show me your checklist. What are we doing? Have these been locked? You ordered appraisals, timeout, So here I am 27 years later, still in the business and enjoying it. Now I do head up recruiting for Summit Mortgage Corporation, NMLS 1041, but I still do loans on the side when I come across them.
So recruiting is tough, man. I mean, like, I gotta ask. Do you make the candidates laugh? Do you try your jokes on them?
Being likable goes a long way on stage and in recruiting and in loan officering. Being likable gets me a lot of maybe stage time I don't deserve, or I'll take it. But I try to inject some comedy, but it's weird because I'll go recruiting call. I'll try to talk 20% of the time, if not less. And it's all about them. On stage, I'm talking for 100% of the time, or 99% of the time. So it's a dichotomy. It's made me be very word efficient and a word aware of trying to get in and get out, and not going too many monologues when I'm recruiting.
Hecklers on both sides.
Yeah. Yep.
It's gotta be, right?
I've been told about my mother before, and my sister, and things like that, and my personal life, but you have to have thick skin. And so recruiting, it's just, they understand that it's.
But even as a loan officer, calling realtors, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's the same. That plays into the same, even calling leads if you're a loan officer. So it's relatable across the board.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird question. What other connections? I never thought I'd ask this in my life. What the hell? 58 years old. What other connections are there between a stand-up comic and a loan officer?
I've got them. I wrote them down, actually. I've got 6 to give you, so buckle up. My co-pilot over there, he's going to watch and listen and learn. So, but the number one thing I'd say is hustle. If you're a comedian, you're hustling, trying to see what the gigs are, who's the bookers for the gigs, how do I get in front of them, how do I be on their call list, and how do I be reliable and Johnny on the spot. and how do I show up on time and do the job? And the owner of the facility says, that guy was great. Anytime, bring him back and get paid. Recruiting is the same thing, and so is trying to find, as your loan officer, trying to find referral partners to work with. All of it is just, it's hustling, and it's just going after the next deal and not being discouraged if you have a bump in the road, or if you have if you bomb. You're going to bomb, and you just got to get back up again and go after the next one and get back on the horse.
Wow. So there are a lot of similarities. What about getting ghosted? Like, ever show up at a gig and there's only like maybe 3 people there?
You get ghosted that way, and you got to still. And the rule of thumb is those 3 people. It's not their fault that the room is empty. They're there to enjoy what they're there to. They're comedy fans. They paid money, so you got to give them your all. And that is hard to do because you wish the room was full and it's not. And
right
there you are. Getting ghosted. Recruiting is a big part of my day. I have to just know that hopefully my messaging is getting through and getting saved in an inbox. And getting ghosted as asking referral partners for business. Realtors, I get it. You're sick of us calling you, but we want to work with you. And so if I can somehow break through and get noticed and be memorable, that might get me your attention.
It's so odd, right? Because I mean, look, I recruit also, right, as an SVP, right? But obviously I've had people scrub them down a bit or whatever, right? So by the time I get to they're in a different mindset.
Yeah.
But ghosting still occurs. And we've talked about ghosting on my annual Meet the Recruiters episode, right?
Yeah.
Psychologically, what do you think is going on inside either a realtor or a loan officer's mind that, like, I don't want to talk to Justin today. I know I said 3:30, I'm cool, but I just can't do it anymore.
I'll actually bring that to the forefront and say, hey, I'm sure you're busy doing something, but it's me. I told you I'd call at this time. I'm calling at this time. I'd like to talk to you. And so I'm this persistent with your leads. I'm this persistent with recruiting for you. And I try to bring light about that. But it's funny. I was thinking back to when we grew up, we're similar eras. I'm 51. Ghosting back then was caller ID, seeing who it was and not answer. Don't answer. And then voicemail, don't pick up. Mom, don't get the phone. And so ghosting's always been a thing. It's just become a different level lately, I think.
Have you ever called somebody from a different number?
I really don't do that. I've thought about it. Maybe I've done it once or twice.
You're among friends, Justin. You can tell the truth here.
Have I had a burner phone in my life? Yes, I've had a burner phone. And yes, I've used it. Oh, you pick up now. Oh, I'm so glad. But I truly just try to get my messaging across through my traditional personal phone. And
you know what? You are a funny guy. I gotta give you credit, man. You made me you have an ability to make people laugh. That's pretty cool. Look, let's get back to this real quick. Ghosting. It's not necessary, right?
Correct.
Like, people can just say, hey, Justin, I'm gonna stay where I'm at. Let's stay in touch. Give me a call in 6 months.
Yep. I'm that way when I'm being sold to as a consumer. And maybe it's just because the business that we're in, I don't want to be a ghoster myself. And so I'll just say, I'm good. Check back. Can I check back in 3 months? That's fine. So I do agree that it's doesn't take much effort to just even respond back with a text. Hey, saw your call. Couldn't take it. I'm good. I appreciate those that do give me some sort of answer.
I had a weird thing happen last week. I got to share this with you as a fellow recruiter. It was the first phone call. We call it a discovery call. I had the recruit call me. I looked at that, I saw the number. I was like, interesting. So I picked it up and said, hey, how's it going? She goes, Fob, I know we had a phone call today. I don't know if you're supposed to call me or if I'm supposed to call you. I said, well, you know what? 31 years in the mortgage business. This is the first time this ever happened that the candidate is calling me.
Was that a red flag or was that a green light? Which is it?
I thought it was very nice. So I took it as a very nice, this lady's that punctual that she just gets confused. Because it was like 30 seconds before the clock was going to tick to that whatever 11 o'clock or whatever time that we'd agreed to talk to. But I guess the anxiety was killing her.
Or she was that professional that she just said, you know what? We get this call's happening. I'm not sure. I'll just make that call. And so that's a green light for me.
Yeah. I mean, look, I appreciate it. And I told her that. I said, listen, I think this is just an amazing moment in my life that I'm going to remember for a while to come.
What was her name, by the way? What was her name?
I'll tell you offline.
Okay.
I told her if Justin Neal ever calls you, just hang up. You don't need to waste your time with that guy. He's just a joker.
Nice.
You were just at the gathering, the Housing Wire gathering, right?
Yep.
And now you were performing there, right?
I was.
So, I mean, did it go over well? Was it well received, or was it lukewarm? Was it like, what the hell is this guy? He's not that funny.
So, backstory: I was brought on to be some relief in a long stretch of great segments that they had on Tuesday. So think about Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. People might be conferenced out, is a phrase I've learned. So my job was try to get them on their feet a little bit, wake up a little bit. And so challenge accepted. And what I learned about in comedy is you just don't say no to opportunities. You just go and do it. You learn something from it. So I will say my favorite compliment I got afterwards was the crew was laughing backstage. And the crew laugh, the AV guys and gals laugh. That's great. The photographer came up to me and said, I love this joke about that. And so I enjoyed that. The people in the audience were not sure. It was kind of like sprung on them, like, here's a comedian. And so they're just sitting back. And so I thought I saw some laughter happening. But again, gigantic room, laughter could go anywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't bring the house down, but I enjoyed myself. And I think I got a lot of people afterwards that said, that was great. So the bottom line for me is, would I love to have the room be as full as when Rocket Mortgage was on stage? Yes, but it wasn't. We were all getting coffee and stuff, and so I made the most of it. And
I think like next year, like go buy like a huge like Redfin for $2 billion.
Yeah,
and then do the comedy show.
I'm gonna write that down. Buy Redfin. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, because I think at that point you would have everybody like listening to you, like, hey, he's pretty funny.
I did see a couple of. I really sat front row, and I was present for all the segments, the sessions, and I did see a couple of presenters try to inject humor, which kudos to them. And it's hard because people are listening for mortgage data, and sometimes their comedy brain's not alive and working, and so they didn't get the laughs that they deserved. In my opinion, the quips I did hear were very funny and deserve more laughs than they got. So kudos to them. I hope they don't get discouraged. I hope they keep trying.
Look, most of us mortgage guys, I mean, and I don't mean to exclude the women. That's not my intent when I say this. Yeah. But we're good for dad jokes. Let's admit it.
Yeah. The humor level is we're down. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's dad joke humor, right? That's the best we can do, right? Most of us, including me, by the way, including me.
I love dad jokes. They're my favorite. And one of my jokes I did on stage, I did say, my wife and I, we've been married for 27 years. It's basically a 30-year fixed. That was pretty funny. And then I said we refinanced our vows last year. That got a laugh. But but in hindsight, someone told me, they said maybe they would have wanted to hear non-mortgage humor as a break in the mortgage. I thought that's possibly right. Point taken. So I don't know what they want to hear from me, but I did my best. I spent a lot of time prepping for that 5 minutes. But the key, again, is to make sure that Housing Wire is happy with my performance. I didn't say anything off-putting. I got off stage in under 5 minutes, which was important to the flow. So keeping the referral partner happy is always paramount.
Does that 5 minutes just seem like forever when you start the show?
It's now seems like not enough time for me. And being aware of the time, and so this goes back to recruiting. If someone says to me, you got 30 seconds, what you got? I have to have something to give them in 30 seconds that's unique in my selling proposition, and then stop talking. It's back to hearing more about you. So trying to be better with my words and being more efficient and less ahs and ums. Those are all things that are important to me.
Yeah. I heard a dad joke the other day that I thought it was pretty good. He said that my son just got a part in a play, and he's going to be a 25-year-old married husband. And he said, I'm really proud of him. Next time he'll get a speaking role.
That's good. That's great. You do like those dad jokes. You got them all logged in. Here's
the thing, though, Justin. I got to be honest. I used to tell jokes with my buddies, and we could go for hours.
Yeah.
But somewhere over between 2006 and now, I just don't remember all the jokes anymore.
Yep.
I don't know what that means. Does that mean that I'm getting boring, or what does that mean?
I think your brain's getting full of other stuff. And I think as we get older, I feel like our brains are just getting jammed full of things that are important to us. And sometimes you might forget about that actor's name in that movie that we can't remember, and
Yeah.
that joke. And so I have been trying to work on techniques myself. I take a lot of notes when I'm on recruiting calls just to make sure I remember that someone's daughter is in the state tournament and things like that. And the same for referral partners. If I'm a loan officer, I'd be like, I'm going to take notes on this just so I can remember this meeting and make sure my memory fresh. And I know that's a technique for studying if you write things down. And I hope it works for me. But, you know, as we get older, I just feel like our brains are just getting full.
I feel like in my portion of where I'm at my career, I just don't give a fuck that much anymore. I was like, whatever's happening is happening. It's going to work out anyway.
You got to let it go. Yeah, I have friends who are upset about being forgetful memory wise, and I'm like, who cares? It doesn't matter. If I can remember who was in Top Gun, I'll remember it later and I'll text you. That was Tom Cruise, you know. So I agree. I'm with you. Like I don't have time to sit and feel bad about that part.
Like everything always works out.
Usually.
Right?
Usually.
Even your 5 minutes at the Housing Award comedy thing, it all worked out.
Yeah, I mean, would I've liked to have gotten a signed contract from Housing Wire to be their spokesperson of the year? Sure, that didn't happen.
I mean, I know Diego. I can text him right now, man. I can hook you up.
I'm available for travel. But I do think that having that mindset, I've always been kind of like, I don't know if I skip through life with that same mindset, but it's a healthy way to look at things. Like, I do the best I can. It's all going to work out, and I can't sit and dwell on. And that's hard in comedy. You can have a bad show and be driving home 2 hours with yourself going, what am I doing?
Oh my God. Yeah, that's got to be awful.
You know? But and then you have video, you're supposed to watch it back and critique yourself. Who wants to do that? But to get better, that's what you got to do. And so I make myself.
How long have you been doing comedy? I never asked you that. How long has it been now with the comedy?
4 years.
Yeah. So I mean, it's you're at that point now where you know where your ebbs and flows are, right? And yeah. Because I know, like for me, being a musician, and I'm not a full-time musician anymore like I used to be, right? Like the more I played, the more I knew the music. You know what I'm saying? I could hear my drummer just by a certain tone of the drum that he was about to do something where I needed to just mute myself.
Yep. I don't know if there was a word for that, but I understand what you're saying, and I always wondered if musicians had that sixth sense.
Yeah, it's an intuition.
Naturally or developed or both, because I look at you on stage and I go, I'd love to be able to do that. I give anything to be able to do that for a night successfully. But how do they keep, when sometimes you hear newer bands practicing, you're like, they're out of rhythm, it sounds off. Well, they haven't gotten that intuition yet, or they haven't developed that rapport yet with each other. Yeah. But it comes.
Yeah, I think the funny thing once again with music, even like I'll remember songs for a 3-hour show. But then once that tour is over, all those songs are gone.
So I can remember a 30-minute set that I have. Still have to have a little. I like to have my safety note, my bullet points, my safety note. But I look at you and I go, how could you possibly remember 3 hours of and not? But you've done it probably 1,000 times, 10,000 times. And so
yeah, I mean, by the time you get on the stage, it's like, you know what I mean, like the last show that I did was actually a couple of years back. It was for the local musician award night, and we were doing 6 original songs that I'd written. But it took 4 months to practice those songs with the group to be ready to do this little 18-minute set or whatever that was, 28-minute set.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't think people really understand sometimes, and I imagine comedy is the same way. Like you have to prepare.
Oh, 1,000%, yes.
Right, the preparation.
You have to prepare. And you have to prepare for them not to like your song. And so if you give your favorite punchline 3 minutes in and nobody laughs at it, you got to mentally go, okay, don't freak out, keep going, build the audience, get them back, and not let it. And I've been through shows where I was 30 minutes of crickets. It was a corporate event. They weren't there for me. They were there to get the free gift the CEO brought for them. And they're just like,
oh, wow.
But I got paid, and I learned from that just not to freak out mentally. But the same with musicians. I was at a show recently. It was my wife and I were watching a show, and there was a smaller audience there. And I go, I hope that they know that we enjoy this, because when I clap, you can't hear it because it's a big outdoor thing. Mm-hmm. But we're loving it. But we're not a full house, shouting. I hope that they know that we're enjoying what they're doing for us.
Yeah, I think most musicians can. There's definitely energy that you feel from stage. The
Mhm.
bigger the audience, the more energy you feel. There's definitely that. But
Yeah.
you don't ever want to, just like you said, I mean, you don't want to, and I think this is in mortgage and music and comedy. You don't ever want to give somebody half of your performance because only half the stadium is there or half the nightclub is there or whatever venue you're playing at. You know what I mean? So you're always at 100%. You should be at least.
You're right. That's the challenge. It's hard.
Yeah. So
'Cause you're
even like,
thinking about us, and we're
like
just sitting
even
there
when I
like,
do this podcast, I gotta be 100%, even though I know Justin's gonna fuck with me.
you told before you said make sure you message us. I said, okay, if you're asking for it, I'll do it. I wrote that
No,
down.
there's certain guests, and you're definitely one of them, Justin, that makes doing this podcast easy. Honest to God,
Thank you.
there's certain guests that I've had over the years. Oh my God, Justin, I gotta be honest with you. Where it's just like, why did you want to come on the show? Why did you agree to come on the show? Why did I mean, like, I'm having to pull answers out of them, and
Yeah.
it's just like, dude, like, I'm not 60 Minutes here. I'm not some hardline host.
You know,
That's like gotcha.
transitioning from being a loan officer to being recruiting, I have had to learn. I can talk a lot if I let myself, and so I've had to learn to really try to train myself to stop talking after 30 seconds or 45 seconds, which means get my point across and then stop talking like I'm doing right now. So it's a fun challenge to be more efficient with words and be when the call is done, we want that person or that audience to go, I like that. That was fun. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. When you're recruiting and you're doing that 30-second talk and then let them talk, right?
Mhm.
Do you ever find loan officers with the one-word responses?
Sometimes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, how's business? Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think it could be better? Yes.
Did I ask a tough question like what are you going to do next year to scale up? That's a tough question. If they go, work harder, that's 2 words, but tell me more, or so I've tried to find ways to get them to open up a little bit. And I get it because they just met me, so they don't know.
Right.
It is trying to be nimble and think of ways to keep the conversation going and flowing.
Yeah. So it was interesting. This one guy, literally, I said, hey, so you did, X amount this year. If you do X amount next year, what does that mean to you and your family? You know what he says? More taxes. They don't prepare you for this.
That's the same as me telling my favorite joke, and you're supposed to all die laughing, and it's just crickets. And I go, well, here we are. Let's move on.
Yeah, when he said more taxes, I was like, you know what? I really don't want to work with this guy.
Yeah. I won't ask for his name. I won't ask for that person's name.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, what's the point? You know what I mean? So look, someone's trying to break into recruiting, loan officer.
Mhm.
Is it the same as somebody trying to break into comedy?
Similarities, I would say, yes, you have to be prepared to not have anything handed to you, and you have to be prepared to go out there and grind. That's the best I can describe that. And rejection is going to happen, and tough moments will happen. Paychecks will not occur as planned, and so just to be prepared for the fact. But out of all that being said, when things do come together, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
So when
yeah.
I'm getting a recruit to say yes to Summit, or closing a big loan that I've worked on for 2 years, or I've got a gig booked on New Year's Eve for a big crowd, and it happens the way I've hoped it would happen, all that work paid off.
All right. So what's worse, bombing on stage or losing a recruit to another competitor?
I would rather bomb on stage in a heartbeat, because I know that pain's just a little temporary moment and I can come right back up again. But we're losing a recruit. That's someone I worked on for 6 months. That hurts. That stings.
Okay. That's a fair response. You know what I mean? I would think bombing on stage would be worse because you're by yourself.
True.
I would think, and by the way, I've never been a comic on stage. I mean, obviously, in between songs, you tell a few jokes here or there. You know what I mean? Whatever, right? But nothing like you guys do.
The first time you do it, it's terrifying. And I'll be honest, as a 51-year-old, I never thought that I would have butterflies and terrifying moments in my life anymore. But backstage in the Housing Wire, I was like, this is the biggest room of my life, meaning size-wise,
Yeah.
not audience. But that's kind of fun to have that heart flutter again, the same as you before your big show you mentioned. And so I would say that, but in the first bombing moment, it's very humbling and hard. but then you do it 10 times. It's like, all right.
I've always seen these comics that when they bomb a line and they'll say, okay, I'm going to say that again. And then the crowd kind of laughs or something, right?
That's a tactic that they've seen work for them. Yeah.
Have you ever tried that kind of tactic?
Sorry, I got a dog barking.
It's okay.
I
creates
would
the whole
say
ambiance. It creates the whole. I'm like digging this whole thing.
he's AI avatar. It's not really a real dog. So, I would say that I have found that there are things that have happened to me, like the mic stand falling over, things. Maybe it was a musician as well for you. That things have happened more than once to you. That I feel like it's for the first time to the audience, but for me, it's the fifth time the mic stand's fallen over. I've got something already built in the back of my head to go. That and make a funny thing about that. And so having those moments sometimes, or if I ask someone, how long have you been married for? And they go, we just met tonight. That's funny. The audience laughs. I already had 3 or 4 things in my brain that will take that joke further. That seems like it's spontaneous, but it's something I did last month or last year that worked then. So,
but you got to have a heck of a memory to pull that off.
Sure, I'll take that compliment, but I think it's more of just that moment of fear where you're like, that didn't go as planned, but now I know how to do this thing that I didn't know the first time, and so that's something you can't really practice for. But just the more you go up and experience things, the more you can kind of get that confidence and that almost like that sixth sense you've described for musicians.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, you're a fascinating person, man. I mean, no joke. This is honest to God, I mean, I could keep this. I think even when we were talking on the phone, I think I had to cut off the phone call. Like I could have talked to you forever, man. That one day.
Well, I appreciate the time, Bobby. I got to get back to this lasagna. So
yeah, I got this joke I want to share with you, which is, why do blonde girls' belly buttons hurt?
Why?
Because blonde guys are just as stupid. All right.
Oh, that was good.
All right. See, it's coming back, but if I hang out with you, maybe all my old jokes will come back in my head.
I got all day. Where are we going? I got all time.
By the way, was that joke? Would that be like too much for the audience, or is that
No.
It's just funny enough?
It's funny enough, and I hear music playing. Are you playing me off right now? Is that what's happening?
This is our outro music thing going on right now, brother. It's like we got it. Our audience has lost their attention span.
They're gone. They've already left.
They're gone. It's just you and me right now.
You and me. All right.
And so nobody can cancel us out. So we can tell all the politically incorrect jokes we want. It'll be cool.
My favorite time.
All right, Justin. If people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of Justin Neal?
So if you want to book me for comedy or recruiting discussions, or even to talk about sending me a mortgage, my number is 612-203-9883.
Wow, you don't even have an 800 number.
No.
800 number, man. If you're gonna give out your number, like, say that again. Give that number one more time to everybody.
I'm giving myself now. You've got like a 1.5 million subscribers, so this could go badly for me. But my number is 612-203-9883.
All right. So Clayton Collins, Diego Sanchez. You got to get this guy back. We're gathering in Austin, Texas next year. I promise I'm going to be there next. I know I'm going to be at the AI Summit next month in Dallas.
Are you going? Okay.
Yeah. Are you going to be there?
I'm trying to convince people to send me there. We'll see how it goes.
Now, listen, if you go there and you do a stand-up comedy, I got to know, because I'll be in the front row.
You'll be clapping and laughing?
I'll cheer you on, man. I'll be your biggest. Everybody
right.
like, man, if Fabi's clapping, something's going on with this guy. I got that much weight, right?
Nice.
All right, brother. Look, thanks for coming on the show. Let's get out of here, all right? And you have a good day. Enjoy your lunch, enjoy your whatever, and make sure you tell your wife I'm not responsible for the water that just fell all over you.
Yeah, we got some cleanup in L4.
Yeah, that's not me, okay? All right,
All
brother.
right.
Good talking to you.